Hi Internet, I'm Tango and these are Tango's Takes. And the take for today is all about consent. More specifically, the take for today is just inspired by a very recent episode of Productivity Alchemy, and I'll put the link in the description, wherein uh, two-time returning guest Michelle Wexelblatt mentioned Planned Parenthood's acronym FRIES. Consent is F. Freely given. R. Reversible. I. Informed. E. Enthusiastic. And 5. Specific. If all of those things don't apply, consent has not been given. It's that simple. Do not assume that you have permission. And if someone tells you, hey, I feel like you're not giving me an opportunity to express my opinion, you're taking away their consent to participate. Yes, it does work that way. Michelle told a story about accidentally ruining one of her kids' sandwiches because, to her perception, it wasn't cooked enough. And it was exactly how the kid wanted it, and she didn't know, and the kid didn't get a chance to provide feedback. Her kids are older kids. They're old enough to make those decisions. Now, there are time and place where you as an adult may not have the option to give someone else for consent. Young children, adults who are experiencing significant traumatic loss of higher function and memory. And those are tough medical situations. And hopefully, in at least in the case of the adult, you have made arrangements in advance that, hey, if I hit this state, I consent to let you make decisions for me because that's how you got that consent to begin with. Because no one likes to be in that place. And there's a difference between acting in a responsible fashion and failing to give someone or get someone's consent. I see failure to get consent frequently, generally in a minor infraction, the ultimate minor infractions. A quick hug, a pat on the shoulder, swatting someone's butt who's in a costume. Costumes are not consent. Um, I'm a furry. It is not unusual for furries to occasionally let someone else wear their costumes. And while you might have consent for certain kinds of hugs or greetings with the person you expect to be in the costume, if they're not in there, you could be wrong. Well, you could be offensive and not know it. And that is an unfortunate risk that people take when they share costumes. It's an unfortunate risk people take just out in general. Thinking back on it, I have a boss who liked to very firmly clamp down on one's shoulder, and it was painful for me. And I never consented to that. But I also failed to object. But failing to say no is not the same thing as giving to consent. And I wish I could remember which European country it is that has started to teach not saying no is not consent. Saying yes is consent. Remember that the next time you're interacting with friends. Also remember that consent can be situational, freely given and revocable. There are things that you might consent to, I don't know, hanging out with a friend in their living room that you are not comfortable with, hanging out with a friend at a restaurant, or a restaurant of a certain level kind of thing. When you enter a restaurant of a certain kind of quality or atmosphere, you consent to meet appropriate behavior standards by entering that place. You can choose to revoke that consent, and in turn, they can choose to revoke your permission to be present. That's all kinds of consent. Remember that. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all next time. And I can't stop recording because a thing popped up over the record button. Bye!